Hi guys, I'm going to start with shoulder mobility today. So do your other warm-up video first, and then we're going to go on to a little bit more shoulder work. So we're going to start with either a strap or a pole. You can do this sequence with either. So if you've got a light plastic pole or a yoga strap or a dressing gown belt, either of those will work well. And we're going to start by taking it so that we're holding it with our arms fully extended. We've got a little bit of tension on the strap if you're using a strap. And we're just going to start by coming up and over. So have your feet a good shoulder width apart. Relax your arms, let them just go heavy. Keeping that slight outward tension. Elbows are slightly soft, and we just start to come up and over. So you're working through that range nice and gently. Do the first few really slow, see how it feels. Okay, working up and over through that full range. We show it from a couple of different angles. Trying to keep good posture. Chest is lifted away from belly. Arms are level, so as we're moving, don't let your dominant arm kind of try and take over the range, if you like. Try and feel that both arms are on the same level. And after you've done a good 8 or 10, we're going to start to shorten the strap up or shorten the pole. So maybe loop it around your finger and then go again. Okay, and you're going to keep doing that until you get to the point where it's a little bit sticky. You can still create the movement, but it's just getting a little bit challenging to come up and over. Just make sure that you don't lock out your elbow joint, yeah, especially those of you that are quite hypermobile in your elbows. Keep your elbows slightly soft. Okay, now we're going to start to take this around the body. So we start with both arms in front. We open the strap back out again slightly. And we're going to just take it so that we've got our left hand pinned onto our left hip, our left thigh. Our right arm is extended out, and we come around and out to the side, and then we come around and to the side. And you're trying to do this without moving your left arm too much, without moving the body. Remember, the body will try and cheat by getting out of the way of the arm. So feel that you're keeping the body quite vertical, quite upright. So it's just the shoulder that's doing the movement. Okay, we're going to change sides. So right hand pins, left arm is now going to come up and over. Oops. And around. So we're doing a few of these. Just comparing the two, it might be a little bit easier on one side. If it's a big difference, remember you need to work your weaker, your tighter side, perhaps a little bit longer. Around. Okay, again doing that, maybe 8 or 10 times on each side, and then we're going to add them together. So we start from the front, or we start with the strap at the front, the pole at the front. Right arm is going to go behind, left arm is going to come over and forwards. So right arm goes back, left arm comes forwards. Okay, and see if you can connect this together. So rather than it being 2 separate movements, forwards and backwards, we're going to see if we can get it rolling now. So we're constantly moving the strap around the body, but we're trying not to move the body. Yeah, we don't want to feel that we're doing this. We want to try and feel that the body stays still. So it's all shoulder movement around. Changing the direction, so left arm is going to go behind, right arm comes over, left arm goes behind, right arm, and then if it's comfortable, remember you're working at the level that suits you currently, so don't push to the point where it feels painful, body will just tighten back against you. Challenge yourself, but don't force anything. Okay, and then just bring it back to the front, roll your shoulders back, okay, let your arms relax. Right, so we're going to come into a bit of decompression for the shoulders now. So the second move, you can, if you need to, lean onto a chair or a table to give your back a bit of support. Otherwise, we take quite a nice wide base. We engage into the abs. We try and keep that distance between chest and belly, so we're not going into flexion. We still want to stay in extension, but we want to tip, support. Back is nice and strong, nice and solid. Weight heavy in the heels. Tailbone is sitting back behind you. Neutral neck, so we're not lifting, we're not dropping. We just want to gaze slightly forwards. Keep your right arm supporting you, let your left arm hang. Now just be aware that you don't twist down. You know, we want to keep the back flat. So imagine you've got a pint of beer between your shoulder blades, so we keep that level. And then we're just going to let the arm go like a pendulum, just let it swing. Should feel really heavy. Taking it out, use all that space in front of you. You might find that you slap yourself on the leg a couple of times. That's just a bit of spatial awareness at play. Hopefully you won't do that more than once or twice. You're trying to use the space in front. And then you're just going to change direction And there might be a bit of clicking and clunking. Remember, it's a ball and socket joint, so if you keep that going, it's a ball and socket joint. What we're trying to do is create space. We're trying to open and just decompress, create a little bit of traction around the shoulder joint. So it should feel really nice. You may well get a bit of clicking and clunking. As long as it's not painful, that's okay. Okay, so you're going to take this both directions a few times, and then you're going to come back to centre, and we're now going to take it across the body. So the back of the hand is facing away, so my thumb is leading the movement, keeping my back level, and I'm literally just kind of throwing my arm across. Now, so the elbow's loose. And try not to clonk yourself in the side of the ear if you can on this one. I have seen it happen. Okay, so just do that a few times, and then finally we're going to come to the outside. So thumb forwards, palm on the inside, and again we're just letting the arms swing. And remember, your range might be more like this to start with. That's fine. You're working to what you can currently manage. You never compare to other people. Everyone's body's so different. And from day to day, some days you might feel really loose, some days your shoulders might feel extra tight. So kind of challenge, but not cause pain in anything that you do. Okay, and then we're just going to change sides. So roll up for a moment, let your shoulders drop back. When you're ready, we're just going to tip. So we support, back's nice and flat, abs are engaged. Let your right arm just drop, start to circle. Taking it all the way around. Okay, and then change the direction. Okay, so both ways. Once you've gone both ways, we're going to start to come across the body from side to side. So we're throwing the arm out and away. Again, as vigorous or as gentle as you need to be with this. Okay, and then come outside, and we're going to go forwards and back. Okay, and then hands to thighs, and we're going to roll up slowly. Okay, shoulders roll back. Just open the chest for a moment. So tailbone is tucked, squeeze your bum, fold your arms into the small of that. Just gently lean on them, so we're lifting the chest and ribs up. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, hold that for a couple of breaths. And then relax, shake out your hands. Right, so we're going to do a little warrior sequence today. So starting from the front of your mat, we're just going to come through our basic warrior sequence. So we're going to do warrior 1, warrior 2, we're going to do some wide leg work, do a little bit of balance work and a bit of rotation. So make sure that you have warmed up, that you've done the previous video first. So starting from your mountain pose, feet hip width, tail is tucked, chest is lifted, arms should feel like they're alongside you, not in front of you. So we want to feel that we're opening through the front body. Really good breath in. As we exhale, we're going to drop the hands to the hips. Right leg is going to step back. Square up the hips. Have a little fidget, a little play, sink into it. Find your range, find your position for that back foot. Remember, there's no perfect place. As long as you feel comfortable and balanced, you can keep your hips squared, pelvis neutral. Yeah, so some of you may need to step a little wider. Some of you might be able to get tiptoes. You might like that position. Heel down. You might need to rotate out. Do play around with what works for you, with what you find is a comfortable base where you feel safe and solid. So we're sinking strongly down through the lower body. We're going to take a deep breath in, arms are going to come up, chest is lifted, shoulders are engaged, we're drawing the arms back. If you prefer, you can clasp into those, point the fingers up. If you've got the balance, you can look up. If not, if you're still getting used to this, you can take a wider arm position, keep your focus down to the floor, but just hold that breathing into it. Okay, if you've got great balance, again, close your eyes. Remember, every balance pose, and these lunges are, to some extent, their balances as well. If we close our eyes, it makes our brain just kind of feel the pose a little bit more. Okay, now open and rotate into warrior 2. So we're going to rotate, right leg turns out to the long edge of your mat. Arms are strong, we're pushing out through the fingertips, we're sinking our shoulders down. Little softness in the elbows. Pelvis is still neutral. Even distance left and right side. Get your shoulders away from your ears, gazing towards your left fingertips. Again, go as low as you can. If you want to go a little deeper into it, that's absolutely fine. Find your range. Breathing big, so use that breath as we inhale, growing taller as we exhale, sinking and opening into the stretch. Okay, palms are going to come up, we rotate completely wide leg base. Deep breath in, exhale, we're going to fold down, so you might want to hinge from your hips. If you need to, you can support your back and your back issues, for example. If you're comfortable with it, you're going to drop, let the head drop. You can then, if you feel safe, walk your feet a little wider, relaxing into it. But try and feel that we're getting that tip from the palms tipping out the front of the bucket. Knees a little softness there. If you like that feeling of hyper, if you lock out, if you're hypermobile, you like to lock, there's nothing wrong with locking out as long as you're aware that you're doing it and you're giving yourself a little bit of support from the front. But you don't have to have your legs straight, you can have them bent. And then finally, just check in while you're in your wide leg position. Yeah, foot position, really important. Make sure that you're not twisting your ankle. You want to feel that we've got even pressure inner and outer edge of each foot. Spread the toes out. Feel that you've got pressure from heel of foot to ball of foot. For those of you with great range, you might want to grab. Start thinking about pushing the crown of the head down or even lifting and pointing the nose to the floor. Okay, 2 more breaths in this one. When you're ready to come out, or if you feel that you're slipping, just use your hands to support you. Little heel toe back in. Squeeze your bum. Roll yourself all the way back up. Big breath in. We're going to rotate back to our warrior 2. Open the arms. Okay, come back through to your warrior 1. Chest is lifted. From here, we're going to exhale, we're going to come down. So we drop. First of all, we're going to come to a low lunge. So you're going to slide that right leg back. If you need to drop to the knee, that's absolutely fine. If you want to stay lifted, push through that back heel. Hips are tucked under, stacking your front knee. Remember, it needs to sit roughly above the ankle. You don't want to track it over the toe. Good firm pressure into the left foot. Keep that distance, chest to belly. Okay, adding our little rotation into here then. So you've got the options. Back knee can be down or lifted. Right hand is going to be your base. Step it a little wider. Make sure that it's supporting you, so shoulder sits roughly above the wrist joint. We're going to sink the hips forwards. Start to lift and rotate, reaching the left arm up. Okay, relax that left shoulder away from the ear. If you prefer, some people prefer the hand position where we rotate, wrap, use that arm as a lever. If you've got great range, you're going to push through this right arm, so we're really wringing the body out. Hips are sinking down, chest is lifted, we're looking upwards and around. Okay, hold it and breathe. But remember, your range might just be here. That's fine as well. Go where you feel comfortable today. Keep your right glute active, that's sinking you into the stretch. And then big breath in, come back to the floor. So stay with this lunge position, but come to an upright body position. So we've got the body lifted up now. We're still sinking into it. Back leg, again, can be high or low, depending on what you want to do. We're going to come into a rotation the opposite way now. So my left hand's going to come inside that knee. I'm bracing gently into it. My right shoulder, I roll it back, I let it drop. We want this right shoulder low, we don't want it lifting. So imagine you're reaching up towards your right toes. I'm bracing here, so I'm lifting and I'm opening to the right. If you prefer, thumb down, come across. So we're trying to grab hold of the thigh, so we're just taking that stretch a little deeper. So you've got all those options. Go where it feels comfortable for you. Nice twist, still open hips. 2 or 3 good breaths. Okay, unwind. Rotate back to face the ground. Okay, tuck the toes, lift back up. We're going to slowly step the feet back up into our forward fold. So right leg joins the left leg. Let the body just hang here. Remember, your range might be more like this. If it's easy, if you've got a great range, you can start to close that space. Come up slow, squeeze your bum all the way up to the top. Big breath in. Release, changing sides then. So we're going to start from your mountain pose. Just move myself a little bit further away from the mirror. Left leg this time, we're going to stride it back. Square up the hips. Sink. Roll the shoulders back, get your base. Position that back foot where it feels comfortable for you. Yeah? Try to get that that nice solid lower body position. Then we're going to reach the arms up, so arm position wider, shoulder width, or you can clasp. Raise as if you're squeezing inwards. You want to feel that we're kind of pressing our shoulder blades together. We're engaging that mid-back space. Whichever of these you find comfortable. You can mix and match. Okay, inhale, we're going to rotate open to the right. Sorry, to the left. So the right knee bends forwards. Gazing towards the right fingers. Hold it. Check in, even waist. Bucket is upright. Nice firm pressure. Still feel that the weight is in the centre. So remember in Warrior 2, I'll show you from this position. Even though it's kind of, we're moving across in this direction, we still want the body to be in the middle. We don't want to feel that we're leaning in this direction. That's another pose. Okay, inhale. So we come back to our wide leg fold. Deep breath in. Exhale, drop to the ground. Hold it and breathe. 2 or 3 good breaths. So holding your wide leg position. Again, a few variations for those of you that are comfortable with these. You can start to move towards one leg. Rotate so the centre of the chest is pointing towards the knee or the thigh. Takes the stretch a little deeper into the back of the hamstring. Walk back to centre, change in size. Okay, so it's just an option. If you're still getting used to it, you can start just holding it in the middle. If you wanted a different challenge, you could start taking the hands away. Yeah, so we're kind of challenging the balance of this a little bit more as well. Or maybe just rest on fingertips. Okay, come out super slow, so squeeze the glutes, roll back up. So we're going to come back to our Warrior 2. So inhale, rotate, open back, turn it towards your right fingers, and then we come back through our Warrior 1. Big breath in, exhale, get ready to drop down to the ground. So we lower, left leg, we're going to wiggle it back. Bring the hands to the inside, stay high or low on the back leg, whatever feels comfortable. Starting just by taking that left hand a little wider. So we sink, chest is lifted, right hand is going to come up onto the thigh. Left shoulder sits roughly above your left wrist. Opening, start to rotate. If you prefer, you can wrap. Squeezing the glutes. Find comfort in the pose, so work with that breath as we inhale. We're energising the body. As we exhale, we're trying to relax. Just feel the body go heavy, let your body sink into the stretch. Okay, unwind. Come back to centre. So we're going to come up right now. So drop the back leg just as you lift. Push through the right foot. Walk yourself up. Let the hips sink. Open through this left hip flexor. I'll show you from a different angle on this one. So again, you can be high or low on the back leg. Hips are down, chest is lifted. Right arm's going to come inside. Left arm, I'm going to rotate back. So I'm keeping that left shoulder away from my ear. I'm trying to push it back. So that's your first position. If you prefer, we rotate. We come around the back body. So we kind of use our right hip, our right thigh as a bit of a lever to push against. Lifting up tall, rotating. Left glute should feel active. Right foot strong. Nice and steady. Hold it and breathe big. Okay, and then slowly release. Come back out. Okay, so tuck, lift back up. Take a deep breath in. We're going to bring the feet back. Squeeze the glutes. Rolling it all the way back up. Standing, release the arms, shake everything loose. So you can keep going through that. You could do that another 2 or 3 times if you wanted to. I'm now going to move down onto the ground. We're going to go through a little bit of prone work, a bit of strength work. But your little challenge, don't forget in class we have this rule where we try and get up and down without using hands. So you're still working on that. Even if you're still at the stage where you're doing it off a chair or onto the sofa. But can you get up and down 3 times now? Doesn't matter how you do it. Down to the floor. Back up to standing without using the hands. So you can do it any way you want. You might want to do one leg at a time. You might want to do some kind of kneeling position first. But just see if you can get up and down 3 different ways. You can even do the cross-legged version. Yeah, but we're trying not to use these stabilizers. So once you've done 3 of those, we're going to come to a face down, a prone position. So you're going to sweep your legs around. And we're going to come through a bit of strength work now. Somebody's asked me for some strength work. So we're going to come down, lying completely flat, arms are tucked in. Just have a little breather, shake out your hips. Okay, and we're moving towards just our prone lifts to begin with. So we'll take a deep breath in. As we exhale, both legs, we're going to float them up. Relax the ankles, just get your glutes firing. If they're not firing, give them a thump, a slap, wake them up. You want to feel these muscles work. A little softness in the knees, you can do some knee bends, some ankle wiggles. Okay, shake out the hips. We're now going to do upper body. So legs stay down, deep breath in, chest, shoulders squeezing back, lifting the front ribs off the ground. Keep the back of the neck long though, don't squash the head back to the shoulders if you can help it. So again, just a breath or two, you want to feel all these muscles down the mid-back, from neck to tail. Okay, and then relax. Right, we're going to move up into bug pose now. So, sorry, bow. We're going to do bug pose a little bit later on. So hips are level. We start just by bringing the legs up. Wiggle the ankles. You may need a strap for this. If you find it difficult to reach and grab your feet firmly, get a yoga strap, throw it around your ankles so you can hold on. But otherwise, we start just by bringing the legs up. So we've got this heel to bum position. Abs are engaged, pubic bone is down. We'll take a deep breath in. We start to think heels as close to your bum as you can comfortably get them. Our next lift from here, we're going to start to lift our upper body. So we draw the head, chest, front ribs, we try and draw them up. Mid-back muscles are active now. We're trying to squeeze our shoulder blades together. Little softness in the elbow. Hold your ankles firmly. Point your feet so that you're creating a little handle to hold on to, so those feet aren't going anywhere. Now we're going to use the strength of the legs to pull the arms, so we push the feet away from the bum, and that should pull on your arms, which should lift you a little further up off the floor from the front. So now we're in this position. And then finally, your next breath, keep thinking abs, pelvic floor, all engaged. We're going to see if we can lift on knees and thighs. Coming up as high as you can. If you wanted to, you could get your little rocking action going. That's just an option for those of you that have mastered this pose and find it easy, just a little challenge. Otherwise, we're just going to hold it, just breathing into it. But think every breath, can you lift either upper body, shoulders, legs? We're trying to get something coming up, so we're trying to get as much of the body off the ground as we possibly can. So really we only want connection here, kind of in this midriff area. And then when you're ready to come out, really good breath in, exhale. Just let yourself melt. Quite an exhausting pose that. After you've done that for a few breaths, you almost need a little bit of a nap afterwards. But just take some big, energizing breaths. Okay, and then we're going to come through Cobra, but we're going to roll it back into child pose. So hands come up. Two options here. You can do your easy version off your forearms if you prefer. Otherwise, hands are going to come up to ribs, shoulders and elbows tuck. Exhale, push yourself up slow. Okay, hold your Cobra position. Maybe we've got options. If you prefer, you could do your upward facing dog. Okay, from our Cobra, we're going to roll it back into child pose. So let the head drop. Think about the front body pulling in. So we gently round up and come all the way up to the ceiling. And then we very slowly lower. Coming all the way back into your child pose. Wiggle the hips back. Have a good fidget here. Get comfortable, let your body drop. Use cushions behind the knees or under the shins or between the thighs. You could drape yourself over a big cushion if you preferred. But just get comfortable. Hold this pose for a few breaths. Okay, and then inhale, we're going to come slowly back up into your box position. Right, moving into a bit of squat work now. I'm going to give you a couple of options today. So start just by tucking the toes. Take your time, look forwards, keep the balance in front of you. Move the hands towards the legs, ease yourself into your squat. If you can get your heels down, brilliant. If you can't, don't worry. You can stay on tiptoes, you can use bricks to support. Come into the position where you feel safe and then have a little fidget. So we want a nice, deep, wide base. We want to feel that we've got even pressure, inner edge, outer edge of each foot, so we're not rolling the ankles, Knees pushing slightly out, chest is lifted, crown of the head is vertical. If you've got the balance, you can use your hands to brace, or you can push outwards, engage into mid-back muscles. But we want to try and feel that our body isn't rounded. We want to try and get that extension through the spine as much as we possibly can. So do play around. Remember, it's a lot to do with balance, so it might help if you have a strap around a big heavy table or something to support you on, or if someone can hold you in the position. Hold it and breathe. Those of you that are comfortable with this, so you're just going to hold your squat, come out and rest if you need to. If you're comfortable, we're just going to have a go at doing our single version, our single leg version. So we start by shifting the weight into the right leg. Okay, arms are going to be there to steady. We're going to see if we can extend our left leg out. Now, to start with, you might need to do that and have it on the ground. That's absolutely fine. Once you've got the balance, you might find that you can then bring the leg up. Okay, change your side. So we step across, shift the weight, get the balance first. Opposite leg, if you need to, hands are stabilizers. It's okay while you're learning. If you don't need them. Okay, if I show you from the front angle. So we shift, we extend. Trying to get the body upright. Okay, changing size. Take your time, use your arms where they're going to help you. So if they're behind to get into the shape of the pose. But it's just a challenge for those of you that find that your squats are easy, just want to do something a little bit different. Okay, and then finally we're going to finish with some abdominal stuff. So I'm going to give you an option on this one. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 options actually. So we're going to have a go at doing either our boat, our little boat position, whichever level you want to do, or our long boat position, where we just hover it here. If you're super strong and you feel like you want to push yourself a little bit more, we're going to transition it back and forth. So we're going to come from our boat balance, we're going to release the legs, we're going to roll it down to our long boat, and then we're going to roll it back up. So we're just going to do this for about half a minute. So I'm going to let you decide which level. I'm going to talk you through all 3 options. So if you just want to do a static seated boat, easy option. We're on the sit bones, chest is lifted, shoulders relax. Bring the feet up. Get your balance here first. Get safe here. Find that this is a really comfortable position before you try and progress on. If that's okay, we can start to extend. You can grab the toes. If you can't comfortably reach the ankles and you need to hold, you can use a yoga strap around the feet. So that's your basic bug, so we can hold that. You can close your eyes in the pose, makes it a little bit more challenging. Your long boat, we start from the ground, abs are engaged, back is flat, toes pointed up. Slide the hands along the floor so that you're lifting up your shoulders, your mid-back, yeah? Neck is neutral. Keep the back flat, float the legs. Not too high. If the legs come up too high, your hip flexor is going to take over, so we want to keep that almost a horizontal line. So this is your long boat position. And if you do want to move between the 2, we're going to start from your seated bug, roll it down, slow control. Remember that smooth controlled movement is so important. Momentum makes it feel easy, gets your heart rate up, but it puts much more forces into the joints. You want to move slow. Same as you come up, pull yourself. You might need a yoga strap, give yourself a little bit of an assist. Yeah, come back up. And just see if you can move between those 2 positions. Do maybe 5 or 6 reps, and then maybe hover in one of those positions to finish. And then once we're done, we're just going to finish with a little bit of relaxation. So obviously we just work the abs quite a lot. We're going to finish with a nice big stretch out. So push out through the heels. Imagine your legs are being pulled, made longer. Feel that distance between hips and ribs. Reach the arms back. Lengthen out one corner at a time. Think do left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg. And then you're going to do one side at a time. So left arm to left leg. Okay, and then change right arm to right leg. And then we're going to do all 4 corners as if we're being stretched, made 6 inches longer through the middle. So I think both legs are reaching down, both arms are reaching up. Lower back will feel like it's just naturally lifting off the ground a little bit here. That's fine. That's what we're trying to get, this feeling of stretching and opening all this front body. Okay, and then deep breath in and just let everything relax. Shake out your arms and legs, give everything a bit of a bounce. Wiggle your fingers, Move your wrist joints, let your ankles go floppy. Squeeze and relax your glutes. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of relaxation here. So taking those deep breaths, draw that breath back down into the lower body. Completely fill the lungs as you inhale. Pause. Completely empty the lungs as you exhale and feel that sense of heaviness. So as you breathe out, we want the body to make a bit more connection with the ground. I'm just going to carry on breathing, just breathing at your own pace, 5 or 6 good breaths. Okay, one last big breath in, reach the arms back, hug the knees up, come up slowly, so either tip to your right side, use your arms to come up, or you can just roll yourselves up gently. 2 big breaths in. Big inhale. Nice, brilliant guys, namaste, well done.